What up? I'm back. The day is July 31st. The day before August 1st, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. It all work out in the end. It'll all work out in the end, man. Today was crazy, man. I was lazy today. I didn't feel like doing the damn thing. And honestly, I did nothing. Nothing. Except my painting. And I went and got some new material because I was kind of out, and I actually like the size, which is like a 40 by 60, because I'm using the painting that I use as like just kind of mapping out and taping my painting to it. And I like the size. It's super big, it's super fun. It gives me a little bit more than an hour of painting time usually. It takes a little bit more paint, but who cares? It is what it is, man. It's fun to me, dude. It's so fun. It's so fun because it's almost like it has nothing to do with me. Like it's I'm telling you, like I'm just a vessel, and whatever happens, happens. And because it's the song, and dude, there it goes again. Like I don't even remember the first song I used to paint my background. Okay, yeah, I do. Now I do. Finally, it's a song that I've been wanting to use, but I'm not going to use it as a main talk song just because it's too fun, and it's got a lot more profanity in it, and it's kind of like a happy dance song, but Uchi Wally Wally. I don't know. I like it a lot. It gets me hyped, and so when I spray painted it. Plus, like, I'm understanding this material, like, spray paint sticks so much better than acrylic does, so, like, it's good to paint the background with the spray paint, because then my acrylic will stay on top of this material. And I kind of knew why I was doing it in the first place, I just never thought about it. A lot of times I do things because I just already know. Like, I already know the best way to do stuff, just because I just do. Like, I've been like this since I was little. I already know the answer to things based on just experience and understanding how things work, because I messed up somewhere down the road. And I don't really ever focus on the mess up part because I already learned my lesson super quick, and now I know. And really the only time what took me so long was humans. To learn my lesson with humans, that took me 35 years. It took me 36 years, to be honest with you. And but now I'm here. Now I'm a monster, really, and I'm okay with that, man. I'm light. I'm dark. I'm good. I'm evil, technically. I'm all things. I'm both. I'm capable of both. And you gotta find balance in between, and then you take control. And when you take control, you choose what you want to be. You know, you don't let your animal instincts or your more evil tendencies come out unless they need to come out. And then those tendencies that come out that someone else would call evil, how you use them, it doesn't mean that they're evil. If I'm protecting myself and I do something that seems evil, I'm protecting myself. So based on my interpretation of it, it's not evil. It was right. It was needed for me to protect my family, protect me, protect whatever. And that's a lot of it, man. It's just like, it's that taking control again. It's all about taking control, and quit letting people choose your life for you. Because their life is broken. Their understanding is broken. And they're just doing what they were taught to do, you know. And this brings me back to a long time ago, probably months. Back probably before the Thanksgiving-ish time. And I heard a story about a woman who used to cook in a certain pan. And one day she asked her mom, she was like, why do you use that pan when you cook this meatloaf or whatever? And she was like, well, because my mom used that pan. And so it's like there's more than one way to do something, or there's another way to do something, but we get so stuck with someone before us and blindly following the human before us, and that could be wrong. That could be completely wrong. But that's what they were taught, and it seemed to have worked that way. We never asked the question of why. Like, why am I doing this? Why do I believe this? Why is there 31 days in July? Why? Why is time the way it is? Why do men act this way? Why do women act this way? Why do I wear shoes? Why do I need to take my kids to the doctor and get 72 shots? Why? You know? But that's it. There's not a big issue with asking why. It's ignorant and childish and stupid to not ask why and to blindly follow the people before you and everything and the people on the news and because they don't care. They don't know because they're blindly following as well. Because it has to do with their pain, with their survival. It has to do with paying for their nice cars and their big houses. It's all a big scam. Like life is a scam, bro. At least life as it is now. Life as it was, because it's changing. The world is changing. The energy is changing. And either you're going to change with it, or you're going to stay behind. Be left behind. It's up to you. I'm watching this sunset, man. It's freaking fire a second ago. It was so beautiful. It was crazy. It's so perfect every single time. And I'm just like in the perfect spot for it because I just get to see so much. And I was going to go to the park today. I drove by the park and I was like, maybe I'll go meditate a little bit and watch the sunset. Which meditation for me is literally just sitting there. I'm not like focusing on anything, just being quiet and maybe listen to something. Listen to a song, just sit there and be still. And but I drove past it. I was hungry, and usually I have a bean burrito in my truck or something. But I was like, no, I didn't have one. I reached over there, and I only got 2 bean burritos instead of 3 today. And which I eat one every couple hours, whatever, just for calories. I don't really care. But I didn't have one, so I just kept driving and went and ate somewhere. And universe and God does what He wants to do, and puts me in a situation, in a place where I need to meet somebody. Where I needed to be in the spot that I went to. Well, otherwise I wouldn't have went. I shouldn't have gone. At no point in time did I plan to go where I was going. At no point in time was I planning to even go eat. I got through painting, and I walked out to my truck, and I said, dude, I'm hungry. But let's go meditate. Let's go to the park. Let's just go watch sunset at the park instead of sitting in my truck. Just for a little bit. Because I got a little bit of time. And then I just ended up driving down the road. I was like, well, maybe I'll just I'll do a lap around my place. And then when I pull back in my driveway, I'm ready to talk. But I ended up going to this place and eating. Everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to. I'm always going where I'm supposed to be. I don't know why. I just feel, and I end up somewhere, and I see a human comes in. I get to talk, and it's meant to be. And hopefully, whatever, love them. Love humans so much, man. Life is tough. Life is hard. Life is not easy. It is not. And like I said, if I can help you, I'll help you. If I can be there, I'll be there. We just need to sit back to back. We can sit back to back. If you don't want me to talk and just be, I'll be. That's the purpose of Cody, man. Just to be sometimes. Just to be. Just to be. Just to be. Just to be Cox. Maybe that's my new name. Just to be. I'm going to write that down. That's my purpose. Not a, I don't know, I guess Cody is a helper, but just to be. I need to break that word down. See what those syllables mean and stuff. But I'll do that later. But today was cool, man. Today was whatever it was supposed to be. Like I said, I really didn't do much. It was just, it had to be that way. It was super weird. Super weird because like tomorrow's a new month or whatever you want to call it, based on these man-made calendars and whatnot. But maybe the energy's different tomorrow. Who knows, man? And the energy's different now. Things that happen in the world now. I keep breaking cycles now. I keep learning new things every day. I keep passing away the old every day and battling stuff and overcoming it. And it's just weird. My life is so weird. It's super weird. But the painting in there was cool, man. I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I don't get it. There was 2 different songs. This song came on again. I picked this song probably, I don't even know, 6 months ago. I loved this song a lot. I heard it a long time ago, and it wasn't on this playlist. Today I went ahead and I was like, when I went to go paint, before I started painting, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and find a song, but I'm going to go ahead and start a new playlist. And the name of the playlist is This It All Begins Now, or something like, this is the start of it. Dude, and it's so crazy. I didn't think anything about it, but I remember when I was little, we lived on a road called Indian Summer. The name of the song that I'm listening to is called Indian Summer. And I didn't think anything about it until I got in my truck and was making my lap. And then I was thinking about the name of my playlist, which is like, this is the start of it, or this is the start of it, or something like that. And I was like, crap, man. Back at Indian Summer when we lived, like, that was the start of it. The start of what? I don't know. That's the question that I'm going to be answering and asking. But I kind of have intuition of what the start of it was, but the start of all of this, right? You know, the start of understanding, the start of like comprehending things, the start of shaping my life. You know, because I think, you know, whatever, adoption and all that stuff, it does do something to you. But I think for maybe a minute, for maybe a time, I was probably happy as a child, but I didn't know any better. I was just really trying to survive. I surrendered to my mother. And so at that point, I did what I had to do to become happy and to become fine. And then, you know, at that place, Indian Summer, something happened. And then also, I have memories of other craziness happening when I was in Indian Summer, but, you know, then like my dad left and all that crap, and parents got divorced. So all that stuff happened at Indian Summer for me. You know, and that happened, family was destroyed at Indian Summer, and it caused the splits. It caused all of us to kind of go through whatever we had to go through, and we all went our different ways, and our brains and our bodies did what it did to protect us. You know, hid memories, gave us memories, whatever, just whatever. That's what the human body does. The human body is fire. And when traumatic events happen, whether it's divorce or death or anything, like especially when you're a child, you're so malleable, like your brain is going to split you. It's there to protect you. It's not good or bad, it just is. The process is there for a reason. Survival of the fittest, so you survive. So even if it shatters you, even if you have multiple personalities, it doesn't matter. It did what it had to do to make you survive. So now, once you get old enough to an age where you can understand and comprehend that, you have to go back and face it, and you have to bond that stuff back together. No one else could do it for you, because no one can get into your brain. Only you can do it. And it takes time. It takes giving yourself time. It takes talking. You have multiple personalities, you have to talk still. Because you have to let both personalities talk, so on, and say the portion, and then you have to mend them together. But it's just communication. It's like a relationship. You have to communicate in order to bond that relationship back together. And I've said this since the beginning. To me, in my brain, in my mind, in my understanding, before I even got really deep in this journey, like I've been saying, like we can fix multiple personalities. We can fix bipolar people, like or bipolar stuff. Because I think I wasn't technically bipolar. I don't know. I don't care. I probably was. But I always saw everything through one set of eyes, but my emotions would flex really hard. I'd be happy, I'd be sad, I'd be quiet, I would talk, I'd be quiet, whatever. Mad, angry all the time. But through me talking every single day, just through me communicating to myself, and when you communicate to yourself, you don't get to choose who you're communicating to. That's the issue. Is you're communicating to yourself, all of yourself, the good parts, the bad parts, the light parts, the dark parts, the evil parts, whatever. The yin and the yang. You're communicating to that whole moon. The full moon, which is all of you. And you're just communicating to it. And it has no choice but to listen. And during that process, You start going through, you start talking about shit that you don't want to talk about, you start talking about things, and what happens is your body starts to combine because it has to make decisions on each other, like together, to choose how you're going to walk, to choose how you're going to live, to choose how you're going to think, because you keep talking, keep saying, you keep creating, you keep manifesting when you speak. And the more you do that, the more your body is it's pros and cons list and everything, and then it's choosing together. It has to. It has to. It has zero choice not to, because it's trying for you to survive, and you're giving it all this information. It's having to decipher it and make it new, make a new book, make a new journal, make a new chapter. Because you have to just talk and hear yourself. Because when you speak, you have a vibration that only your body responds to. Your body can't not respond to it, because it's its own vibration. It's at equilibrium with its own vibration. It has to accept it. It cannot refuse it. That's why the self-talk is bad. Like if you say you're stupid, like your body's going to hear it and it has to accept it. And the more you do it, it's going to be more information, and then it's going to start leaning towards that. And that's why words of affirmation work when you do it better than when other people do it. And then again, it's still a time game. It's all about how much time. Over how much time does this stuff start to take control? You start to believe it because it's all you're hearing. You're brainwashing yourself. This whole process of what I've done for the last however many talks is literally me brainwashing myself. I knew from the beginning. I was so infatuated with brainwashing and programming and just understanding, like, people come home and we watch content all day long from other human beings. And then as time goes, I can watch these little kids that want Nikes because their favorite actor has Nikes. They got mullets now because everyone they watch on TV has mullets. Ain't no one know how to be themselves because they're not giving themselves time. It's not good or bad, but to me, I'm unique. I'm me. I'm Cody. That's it. I'm not him. I'm not her. I don't want to be them. Why would I want to be that? They don't even know who that is. They don't even know who they are. They're just chasing money, and whoever sponsors them and signs them makes them wear, makes them do, makes them say whatever they want to say. It's a bunch of drones. It makes zero sense to me. It doesn't feel like a good life to me. Maybe it is. Have fun. Have fun. I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting at home just doing what I'm doing, eating bean burritos. So you tell me what's more important. I'm happy. I love myself. I have fun by myself. I make myself laugh. I make myself cry. I do what I need to do to survive. But I'm baseline happy and I'm baseline in peace. But I also had to sacrifice a lot for it. I had to sacrifice everything for it. I give myself time. And hell, I've been rewarded for it. And my reward is infinite. My reward is everything. My reward is all things, because my reward is me. And I'm steadfast in my thoughts. I'm steadfast in my processes. I'm steadfast in who I am. I may not be the tallest dude compared to everyone in the world. I may have brown skin living in a white world. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'm me, and I'm okay with it. But it took me giving myself time to do that, to become that, to understand that I do have different emotions. I do have different voices, depending on what I'm talking about and what emotions get struck. And I look back at all the things that I picked up of human beings. Every time I say something and it sounds weird, like that, weird, evidently I heard somebody say weird like that, and I freaking liked it. And I kept it for myself. Like I said, I'm a master chameleon. And I went through life and just did it. Just took what I needed to take, what I thought was cool, what I thought was the best way to do something. I don't know. Sometimes I talk like a child. I stumble on my words. Sometimes it's super weird. Like it's almost like I have a speech impediment sometimes when I'm kind of talking in a child brain. And then sometimes when I'm talking in a more stern, strict voice or understanding, like an adult brain, maybe a more sophisticated part of my brain, or a more sophisticated idea, something that I actually do know a lot about. It's pretty straightforward. I pronunciate well. I do all these things well, but then, like I said, sometimes when I'm more emotional, with different emotions that are tied to different ages, different experiences and whatnot, everything changes. And to me, like, that's like kind of like, it's not multiple personalities because it's just one. It's just one human being, but one human being has all these things. And it's, and we as Americans and all these people in the world, we want to try and fix all that stuff with chemicals first. Which is fine. We understand that neural pathways are formed. We get it. And maybe the foods and stuff that we have has blocked receptors and whatnot. Usually it's all the food. 90% of it's the food, and then trauma responses that our brain has exploded and split. But that's what I'm saying is you have, in order to heal anything, it takes time. In order to complete any task, it takes time. In order to do anything, you have to exchange that anything with time. In order to grieve somebody, it takes time. So why is it so different when we get sick to the hospital and you maybe have some mental issues, whatever? We don't try and heal it with time processes. We try and just shoot you with chemicals real quick to fix instant gratification, instantly fix. Well, we know that that's not the way it works. But that's tied to money, and that's tied to whatever, and it's tied to a lot of other things that ultimately just keep you sicker. So I mean, the whole thing is just giving yourself time. The answer to every problem is giving yourself time. Like literally asking yourself questions, sitting in front of a mirror, sitting in front of yourself, just being quiet, and then not having any outside influences. I don't know, I use music. That's an outside influence, but that just kind of, I don't know, I connect to some kind of weird energy with it. But I think it may help me connect with other people as well. But because it kind of puts us on a baseline frequency, and so if people do listen to my stuff, when they do listen to my stuff, then they get tapped into that frequency that I was on, and then they can accept my vibration when I give it to you. Because it's tied to this frequency, and it's tied to this vibration. But yeah, whatever, you got to give yourself time. That's the answer to all of this. Like literally, like we don't need doctors anymore. Just go talk to yourself, figure out the problem. Figure it out. What you need to do. Your body's probably going to tell you don't need to be eating that shit. And I eat some awful stuff all the time. Your body's going to be like, well, you probably should just start drinking water, even though water is tainted. Your body needs this, your body needs that. Your brain is like this because you don't give it time. You've just been running from yourself to split. The going gets tough, you split into this person. Because you know how to deal with stuff from that. And I do it sometimes. And when I'm working, I'm something different than when I'm not. But actually, lately, I'm not. I'm always the same. But before, I was a lot different. Before I was a people like. So, dude, yeah. So I was kind of split with that. So like when I worked, I was very like my way or the highway, which I'm still that way. But I'm only that way with my way, like with my stuff. Like with me, right? I don't care less what you do. If you got good options, good ideas on how to do something, I'll do it now. Before I wouldn't. A year and a half ago I wouldn't. A year and a half ago I was a bastard. Now I'm not. Now it's like, I don't even care what you got to say in that brain, because you're fire. I'm fire. I believe in myself. Therefore, I'm going to give anyone who comes to me with a new idea, with a new understanding, with a new way to do something, I'm going to at least effing listen. Before I wouldn't, or before I would pretend to listen, but then we still do it my way. Now it's different. Now I'm different. I'm a different human being. I can't even explain it. It's very difficult because it's light and day to me. For me to be able to even just actually listen to someone when they're telling me another way to do something. Before, I couldn't. I couldn't. I would look like I was listening to you, but I just didn't care. Because I'm going to do it that way anyways. Now it's different. Especially when it has to do with outside the world. Now it's like I understand. I have so much confidence in myself. I have so much belief in myself that I cannot deny that other people can't have the same in them. And therefore, I equally have to, what I give myself, I equally have to at least give the other person in the moment. Doesn't mean I have to go with it or do with it, but I have to at least give them enough respect because I respect myself enough. That if they have, number one, they have a different perspective than I do. And I have to accept that. Number two, they may be smarter than me in this. And I have to accept that. They may have more experience in this. I have to accept that and at least listen. But it's been a process here to get here. But the only process was one-sided with me giving myself time. Me growing. Me walking up a mountain, looking at the mountain where my trophy is when I get up there. And ultimately when I get up there, when I got up there, I am up there now. The trophy is literally just me on top of the mountain. I didn't know that. I thought it looked like, from the bottom, it looked like something crazy, like riches and gold and all this crap. It's just a trick to get you to go up the mountain. But what happens is once you conquer that mountain, you are the trophy. Because you did all those things to get up that mountain. You physically had to change your body, you had to change your mind, you had to give yourself time. You had to believe in yourself, you had to love yourself, you had to continue to push. You created a monster to get to the top of that mountain. And when you got to the top of the mountain, you are it. You're who you're supposed to be. You are a freaking monster. And that mountain is yours. And you can look back down and you can look at everything you went through. You can look through all the experiences, look at all the battles, look at all the blood, look at all the tears and the sweat. That was yours. And now you're a man. Now you're a woman. Now you're one. You had to combine. At the bottom of the mountain, you were second guessing yourself. You had different, some of your body, some of your brain you were split. You had multiple personalities when you were at the bottom. I can't do this, I can't do this. I'm this, I'm that. I'm not capable of this, whatever. Overthinking, how should I do it? Which way should I go? But in order to make it to the top of that hill, to the top of that mountain, because it ain't a hill, you have to combine. You have to yin and yang. You have to use every ability, everything, good, bad, light, dark, all of it to make it to the top, to make it up there safely. You gain muscle, you break muscle, you build it up. You break bones, you break ideas, you break thoughts, and then you heal as time goes on as you're going up the mountain. And everybody else got their own mountain. And they're over there yelling, they're at the bottom of the mountain yelling at you how to do it. And you're like, dude, I'm already halfway up, bro. Why would I listen to you? And as you keep going higher and higher up that mountain, you quit. You can't hear those voices anymore. You don't care about those voices anymore because they're down there. You're going up and you're starting to see things in another perspective. A better perspective. A higher perspective. You know? It's crazy. And then by the time you get to the top, you're all alone. But you love yourself. You don't even care anymore. You're like, all those people down there, I can't even remember them. They're still down there crying and complaining. I'm all the way up here by myself, happy, excited, in peace, stronger than ever, taller than ever, smarter than ever, more compassionate than ever. Because I understand the road that you have to take to get to feel this. But it's worth the journey. Oh, it's worth the journey. So all it was, really, when you look at it, it's just giving yourself time. That's it. What happens during that time, it is what it is. And you'll face it, and you'll pass it, and you'll get through. It's that simple. Simple like a child. This is the problem. Fix it. This is the problem. Give it time. This is the problem. Walk through it. Because you're fire. You're fire. And that's it, man. I'm up there. I'm at the top. And I got my trophy because I am my trophy. And ain't no one gonna hold me down. Because ain't no one coming with me. Ain't no one has made it up there yet. If you do, if you don't, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Now we can partake in each other's time completely. But you gotta go all the way up and grab that talisman, which is yourself. Which is your protection. Like, all these things that you gain as you go up, like, it's ridiculous. It makes you a monster. It makes you unstoppable. You get new ideas. You get new perspectives. You know how to help. You know how to trick people into going up that mountain. And I say it like that because I'm honest. Because I had to trick myself during this game of going up the hill, going up the mountain. I had to do things and trick myself into doing things even when I didn't want to do them. I had to be 3 steps ahead of myself just so I would do the things that I needed to do. Then I had to shake them up because I knew I wouldn't do it if I did this or did that. It's very fun. It's extremely fun because it's a game against yourself. It's a game against your mind. It's a game against all versions of you, all ideas of you, all these multiple personalities. You know? It's freaking fire. It's freaking fun. And I wish I could, honestly, like, that moon is fire, bro. But, it doesn't take that long to, like, really start to understand and see results. That's what's so funny. And, like, once you start the journey, like, there's no going back. Like, you can't, your body, at least for me, like, there's no option to go back. There wasn't even a thought to quit. It wasn't even a thought to stop doing what I'm doing. Like, it wasn't a thought. I had no options. I gave up my options. Once you start going up that hill, you have no options left. That's what's so crazy is you start going up that mountain, you're like, I have no options. I can either fall to my death, which is fine because it sucks down there. I already know what it feels like down there. I don't want to go back down there. So really, the only option is to conquer it. But you have to take that first step up that mountain. You know, and it's so crazy because when you start going up the mountain, there's like different seasons on the mountain as well. You go through one season, it's hot down there at the bottom maybe, and you start going up, maybe it's raining, you know, maybe the next, and then by the time you get to the top, it feels cold, but you're so strong by then, it doesn't really matter. Because you're using all of it. You became one with yourself, which is actually 3, but it's crazy, man. It's fun, dude. I'm telling you. And it's easy. You don't need to go hire nobody. You don't need to spend money. You just got to have time. You just got to use time wisely. Instead of watching TV, go sit in the truck, sit in the car. Record yourself and talk. Whatever you got to say. And then listen to it. And then listen to it all day the next day. And then when you're done, when you go out to your car the next day and do it, all that stuff is behind you. You beat it. You won. You overcame it. You reshaped it. You felt it one last time. You chose to do that. And in choosing so, you took your power back and you stepped out of being a victim into a controller. And when you're a controller, you get to choose. You get to choose. You know, lately I've been thinking about kind of churches and all this stuff, man. And it's super confusing to me because it's like, I believe in God and Creator and all this stuff. But I do know this. I do know that if He created me and love, unconditional love is free will, right? He's not going to be doing stuff for me. Because if He did, that wouldn't be love. You know, like you look at like a kid who's super spoiled. I have no idea. This is just me looking from the outside. You know, a kid is super spoiled and the parents do everything for their kid. Like in my eyes, like that he's not fit to understand the ways of the world. He doesn't know how to work hard. He doesn't know how to do this because he was given everything. To me, in my eyes, that's not love. Because you're not giving the kid what he needs to survive. You're teaching him that he's always going to be given stuff. And maybe he goes around the world and when he becomes an adult and he goes through life, maybe people continue to give him stuff. But to me, it's not good or bad. It's just, when time comes and he needs to have those survival skills, he does not have them. Because what his parents gave him, which was love, supposedly in their eyes, or they did everything for them, the kid doesn't even know how to do anything. He don't know how to change a tire. He doesn't know how to fend for himself. To each his own. To me, it seems like someone dropped the bar somewhere, you know? But whatever, I don't know. That's just me. I do everything for myself, so I don't really know. I don't know. But I just look at God that way. Well, if God is a just God and God is seeing everything from a higher perspective, I think he would understand that he can't and won't do everything for you. And I'm talking like 99.9% of everything for you. He's not going to do it. Because that would take away the joy, that would take the opportunity away, that would take away everything. That would take away your free will. And then what? The point of your existence would that be? It would be zero. Because if he's out there controlling you, then what's the point? He can make you do whatever he wanted to, but the act of love that he has is to not do stuff for you. To allow you to live your life the way you want to live. Allow you to make the mistakes you make. Allow you to create the hell that you live in. That's love. And then understand that when you want to come out of it, you're going to do what it takes to change. But he's not going to do it for you. Because you created that. You don't just get a free pass. That makes 0 sense. That makes 0 sense. I don't understand it. And maybe I'm wrong. But it's like, maybe he'll help you and when you choose, but you gotta continue to walk every single day. It's not, I just don't see, that just makes 0 sense to me. But then again, I don't know. I'm from a different set of experiences where I don't understand free passes and stuff like that, I guess. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. It's a high possibility, maybe. All I know is God helps me, and I don't know how. He does. He looks out for me, whatever. He created me. He allowed me to live. He's allowed me to do whatever I want to do. And that's love. That's love to me. No. Whatever. He created a world. Creator, whoever created this, created a world with systems and trees and water and the sun and the moon. So we could experience life. But he's not controlling you. The government's controlling you. And it's not even that they're controlling you, it's you're allowing them to control you. That's the difference. TV and programming. You're giving your time over to them and attention, and in doing so, you're watching so much content that it's subconsciously programming you. Because the more you give your time to something, the more it becomes your likes, it becomes your normal, it becomes acceptable, it becomes your ideas and your thoughts, and you lean towards that way. The more and more and more you intake certain content, all content, whatever you look at, whatever you do, whatever you give your time to, whatever you surrender to, whatever you focus on. One of my songs the other day was called Focus, and it had to do, I may have used that in one of the paintings, I think maybe yesterday or the day before. And it's just like, what do you focus on? Because that's going to tell you what you're going to become. You know, show me your friends, I'll show you my future, or your future. Like, it's all these things, all these statements are so real, and we say them and we talk about them, we post them on Facebook, but then we do the exact opposite. Or we don't even understand what we're saying. Or we just brush it off like, well, I'm not focusing on the wrong thing. Well, I don't know, you're not happy. So evidently you're focusing on the wrong thing. Because you're not happy. Because we're not intended to be here on this earth and be not happy. That's not the point of this. Yes, it's part of it. But the goal is to become on top of that mountain where you're freaking happy and you're in peace. And you're a monster and you're capable of adapting to anything. And you're able to face anything when it comes. And you're able to help people once you get to the top. Because what's the point if you don't? You make it all the way to the top of the mountain? Like, what's the point? If you don't go back and help. Now you got all this knowledge, you got all this power, you got all these skills. You're freaking confident in who you are, and you don't go back down the mountain, you're just up there by yourself. What's the point? You might as well leave. You might as well leave. And that's an option. That's an option. And it's not good or bad if you do. But for me, I gotta come back down. I gotta teach you how to get up that mountain. I gotta teach everyone to be as happy and confident as I am. That just makes sense to me. Because I took the journey. I did the journey. I am the journey. And it was fun. And it was exciting. And I found myself. I found out who I am. I found out that I love myself. And it's the greatest feeling in the world, man. I'm so proud of all of it. I'm so proud of me. I'm very proud of me. And so now it's just like time to go back and like help people understand. Show people love. Show people me. You know, emanate the love that I love for myself out to the world and show them that it is possible. It's possible for people to truly love you because it's possible for you to truly love yourself. And that's where it all starts. That's where it all starts. That's where it all starts. I don't know, man. My painting ended up coming out to look... Dude, it looked weird. It came out... It looks like Indians. It looks like two Indians in the middle of an island or something. And maybe some big totem poles on the side. And I don't know, man. I know my bloodline's something crazy. You know? And I've known through this journey what I'm doing and what I'm doing for my people, whoever my people are. And when I say my people, I mean it literally just means my people, which means everybody, all people, because we all come from the same bloodlines, really. And we all come back from a certain point where it all started. And we could have different, start origins. I think there's a very high possibility that humans. We're connected. We're all connected. But at least humans are. And we could have had, different starting origins as well, though. That's a high possibility. It's a very high possibility. And like you read the Bible, you got Cain and Abel, and then you got Abel was killed, and then so either Cain married his sister or he went off to another city with other people, and then married another woman there. I don't know. We don't know. We don't have information past that. We do have some stuff, but who knows? No one treats it like the Bible, but whatever. I don't know. The world's bigger than the Bible, so I don't know. I've always just thought the world was bigger than the Bible. The Bible is just one perspective, right? And there's multiple perspectives. And it goes back again to Melchizedek, which he's not even in the Bible, but a couple sentences, but he had his own priesthood. He was his own person. He was his own whatever. And like I said, he blessed Abraham. So he was greater than Abraham in the sense of he blessed someone else, which we can bless anyone we want. It doesn't matter, whatever. We're not putting... status on this, but he had his own. He was his own. He wasn't part of that priesthood. He was he came from something else, but yet it was still God. Which that's kind of the way I see things a lot of times. It's like, well, what about him? It's bigger than that. That's just one book out of all the books of history, of his story. And to be able to at least question that is just a good start. It doesn't mean you don't have to believe it. It just means that maybe it's your story. That maybe that Christianity is part of your story and something else is part of something else. You got to think like Indians. Like Indians had their own stories. They had their own beliefs. They respected nature. They believed in the sun. They believed in the moon. And they understood the processes better than we understand the processes. We look at the processes scientifically. But science is still guess. A lot of stuff is a guess. We prove it multiple times, whatever. But it doesn't mean our conclusion is still right. We conclude some of it, and we can repeat the process multiple times, yeah. But it's still bigger than that. Like, we don't understand why the sun does what it does. We understand how it does what it does, or what it's made of, possibly, we're guessing. Because we've never been to the sun, supposedly. But to me, I always see the bigger picture. It's like us with our human brains, with our human minds, we think this is this. But I'm always going, well, yeah, maybe this is that, but it's bigger. Like, what about the stuff we can't see? What about the stuff we don't know? We're calling something red when it really may be green. These little questions always, since I was a very small child, they always confuse the piss out of me. Always. So I was like, dude, it's like, how? Like, who said that was green? Who said that was red? Who's the first person to call that color that color? Like, literally, it's on a very simple child level. In my brain, it just never comprehended. And it still to this day doesn't. I accept it as red. I accept it as green. But it doesn't mean that that's what it really is. It could be called something else. It may not even have a real word. We do know it's tied to a vibration. Maybe that's the name of it. And in the gist of it, that is the true, closer name to it. When we break it down into a vibration. That's just how we are describing that vibration. We're describing that vibration as red. We're describing that vibration as green. We're describing that vibration as brown. And all vibration is the same. It's just vibrating at different, speeds, different vibrations, different frequencies. And that's the earth. And so once we can understand and manipulate them vibrations, then we can have anything we want. We can create anything we want. Because we're all the same. We're all made up of the same thing, which is vibration, which is technically, in the beginning, was the word. In the beginning was vibration. And I didn't think that this was where it was going to go, but then technically we are all vibration. So technically we are God's vibration. We are technically God, I guess. But it's more still like double-sided, because I always like to say, like, we're his imagination. We're acting out his will. And so whatever our will is, whatever we do is technically God's vibration and his will. But we can choose. That's the point. We have free will because we're his imagination. He's given us reign on earth to do whatever the hell we want to do. To do whatever and act however we want to act. But once you start to come in and understand that, you want to do, you want to do good. I guess, I don't know. And some of you don't want to do good. It don't matter, I guess. I prefer to do what I think is good or right. But I guess there is a perspective when you understand that power, you want to, I can see both. It's kind of difficult. Like, I guess once you understand that you have the true power, then you have to choose what you're going to do with it. Man, that's rough. That's rough. Because then you get to choose what you want to do with it. And then I guess you could say the elites or whatever are choosing to just ultimately just live in the animalistic side and chase nothing but pleasures, and which is fine, but then other people get harmed in the process, and you have to make slaves and all this stuff. Like, well, if you want to empower humans and you want them to be as free as you, and you just want them to have that peace and understanding and love, which is ultimately from God. It's just you understanding that and getting it from God when you understand that technically you are gods. You're little gods here on this earth, in this plane, and you're able to manipulate and control anything you want to. It just takes you knowing yourself more, which is ultimately just you knowing your creator and just giving him time when you're giving yourself time. You know, and that's what Jesus did. He was giving himself time, and then they, you know, whatever, and he got more information here on earth. You know, same thing, whatever. Moses, same thing. He got more information because he gave time. Able to part the Red Sea. Who did that? God did it. But through Moses. So maybe Moses did do the act himself. Maybe the power came out of Moses to part the Red Sea. Through the staff, through nature. He manipulated nature through the power of God, which came through himself because we are that vibration. I don't know, these are just stories. But it all starts with giving yourself time and then choosing how you're going to use that power. With great power comes great responsibility. And you can choose to do the darker things if you want. You can choose to become an animal again and go after the pleasures of the flesh, or you can choose to be different. To take the harder route, really, which will get you higher and level up. Because it's way more difficult for me not to run the street. Dude, I could go run the streets right now and pull anything I want, to be honest with you. And some people can get pissed off and mad. Yes. It's not that hard. It's very easy to manipulate and trick people. Very easy. I made damn sure for the last year and a half that I didn't do it. I made sure to detach my energy. I can't explain it. And whoever listens to this talk is going to be like, dude, this dude's crazy. I'm not crazy. I could have done a lot of things different, but I chose not to. I chose to separate. I chose to give free will to every human being in my life. I laid out my part, did half the work, and gave them the option. It sucks, because that's love. And if people don't choose you, that sucks, that hurts bad. And it makes you question yourself. But through the process of me giving myself time, it just reiterates how much I actually truly am confident. I love myself. I know who I am. But I had to have those heartbreaks. I had to have those things. And I had to give people free will. Because if I would have got what I wanted and did everything I needed to do it, then that would have not been real love. That would have been manipulation. That would have been trickery. That would have been witchcraft. That would have been all these other things that they talk about and teach. Like, seriously, that's what that stuff is. But when you're acting in love, and love is free will, and there's zero conditions on it. Like I said, humans in the lower state, in the lower understanding of the world, we put conditions on love because we don't even understand love. Well, love is unconditional. The unconditional doesn't exist with love. It's just love. It's like the process of the trees. They just love us. The sun loves. And love is just, it happens. It's free will. And we live within this free will. So actually trees and stuff, I don't know if they even have. Maybe their love is unconditional. I don't know. They don't have an option. We actually do have options. So maybe the system itself is all made out of God's love, and He just made them do those things. They're more of like, they're real, I guess. I'm trying to think what it would be. It's their job to love us. So whatever, but we as humans, we have options. We have the option of loving or not loving someone. On the conscious level. On the subconscious level, we don't have that option, but because we're all the same. But whatever, man. It's weird. Life is crazy. My talks are crazy. My talks are exactly what they're supposed to be. I didn't know that's where none of this was going tonight. It is what it is. And that's why I love talking, because this stuff comes out of me that I don't even know exists. I don't even know these concepts exist. I don't even know these ideas exist until I give myself time. And every day it's new content. Every day it's new ideas. Every day it's new. It's a new day every day. And this is the end of a cycle for me. Tomorrow is new. Right now is new. This is the beginning of a new cycle. This is why I picked... So, like I said, I start my new day when I start my painting. When I pick that song to paint to. This is why I did not change playlist last night. This is why I did it today. I thought about it yesterday because I was preparing for today. Well, I knew today would be when I started the process of painting. In the afternoon, when the sun is going down, that's the beginning of the day. And it all works out exactly the way it's supposed to. It's freaking fire, dude. It's crazy. It's fun. It's exciting. It's life. It's love. It's everything. It's all things. It's eternity. It's love, it's joy, it's peace, it's understanding. It's me. Because I gave myself time. Who knows what tomorrow brings? It doesn't really matter because tomorrow is when I start my day tomorrow night, you know? But it's fun, man. This journey's been crazy cool. I wouldn't change it for the world, man. It had to be this way. Like I said, if I can help people, I want to help people, man. Because everything... I'm telling you, dude. That's what's so crazy. Is think about the concept of giving yourself time. I'm going to pee real quick. What's up? Pour out a Gatorade bottle. Alright. So I just want to think about the concept of this. Like... No one... Let's just start like this. No one has lived your life for you. No one's walked in your shoes. No one's seen life in your perspective. No one's experienced life the way that you have experienced it. No one understands the way you think. No one understands the way you talk. The way you articulate things. Like, no one really understands it. Like, we have to try and have a bridge currency there. Try and understand it. Then the other person is assuming what you mean when you speak the way you speak. No one knows what you think about when you're alone. No one knows what you're thinking about when you're not alone. No one knows anything about you technically unless you share it. The outside person looking at you can only assume, predict based on patterns of outcomes that they've seen you perform. No one knows. So then why do you need other people to solve your problems? Because no one even knows your problems. No one even knows what's really going on with you. No one really knows anything about you except yourself. Therefore, the only person that's even capable of fixing your problems, understanding you, listening to you, controlling you, hearing you, is you. So what's up with all these teachers in the world trying to teach you stuff about yourself? Makes zero sense. I'm doing the same thing. All I'm keep saying though is give yourself time and figure it out. This is what I've done for myself. But ultimately at the end of the day, it's like, just give yourself time. You're your best teacher. You know everything about yourself. You have to fight your mirror image. You have to fight your exact self because you know all your tricks. You know what you think. You know what you've been through. You know the way, all the experiences that you've gone through. You know what you're going to choose. You know what you like. You know what you dislike. You have to give yourself time. You're your best teacher. You're your only real true teacher. But in order to learn or do any of that stuff, you have to give yourself time. I'm going to preach this till whenever. I'm not even going to talk about that word. But you got to give yourself time. You have the answers you need. Because you actually know the equation. You know all the variables in your equation. You know how to do all the problems in your head. You know the right answers to everything. But you got to sit there and give yourself time. Because you're not even working out the problems. You're not even, first of all, you're not even saying what the problem is out loud. We can rehear it and process it. You're running from yourself. You've never stopped to look at yourself. You've never stopped to ask why I'm bipolar. Why do I go from extreme to extreme? I don't know. Why don't you be quiet and listen to yourself? Talk. Ask yourself that question. What's wrong with me? Why do I have all this energy? Why can I not sit still when I eat? Why do I feel like a child? Why when I go into the presence of my mother, freaking I get sick, I get sad, and I know she's going to make fun of me, she's going to say some smarty remark, it's going to hurt my feelings. Why? Why does this human being why do I always feel drained when I go around this human being? Like, why? Why do I not like my job? Why am I not happy? Why do I not think I'm pretty? Why do I not think I'm good enough? Why do I not think I'm ever going to find love? Why does everyone just want to have sex with me and that's it? Why don't I have any friends? Ask yourself these questions and you'll tell yourself the answer. You may not like the answer. I guarantee you, you're not going to like the answers. But it has to do with pride and ego. And you got to combine with pride and ego. Pride and ego are fine when they're used right, and over time, when you combine, you understand how to use pride and ego. Just having pride in yourself, not being prideful in nature. It's kind of confusing to explain. Because there's always two sides to everything. There's a light side of pride and a dark side of pride. Both of them used in the right place are good. Everything can be good. Turned for good, I guess. But whatever, man. Life is crazy. Life is fun. Life is awesome. But you gotta give yourself time, man. I'm telling you. Because it doesn't matter what I do. I can't change anything for you. I can't go into your brain and do anything. And if I could, it wouldn't be love. Because that would be manipulation and it wouldn't be free will. Because free will is love. And I'm going to iterate that forever. And I understand that God, even the things in the Bible, it all iterates to free will. Meaning you are choosing to serve a God, to choose Him and Him alone, and not any other gods here on earth. Like He even says it. I give you free will, but you have to choose to serve me. But at the same time, it's kind of weird because it's almost like, this is kind of weird. This is just a question. Because I look at it like if there's not alternative motive, but if I do this for you, then you have to do this. If there's one of those, I guess it's alternative motive. No, I can't think right now. It's super confusing because it's like you think about the word salvation. I will save you if you worship me. If you and this would be a God saying this, right? I will save you if you worship me and follow me. And in my brain, I'm like, well, that's not really free will or love. Because you're saying if you do this, then you will do this. That's not free will. It's giving me a treat if I do what you ask. So it's showing me something shiny. And I don't know if I'm looking at it wrong. Where it's like I don't even think about salvation in a sense of like that. I don't think about this eternity because I don't honestly believe. I believe we're already eternal. So I don't believe in this outside resource of eternal being, getting gifted. And then if I'm bad or naughty, I go to hell and burn for eternity. That makes zero sense to me. That whole thing makes zero sense to me. I think it was ultimately just controlled by the churches to make you sheep. But in myself, in my being, this is kind of where it goes to once you walk into power, you can choose to be good or bad. depending on your perspective, you can choose to like rule other humans, or you can choose to free other humans and empower them. Where like me as a person, me as a human, me as my consciousness, I'm choosing to let people feel like I feel, to be happy, to overcome the struggle, to overcome the suffering, and just to be content, happy, and in peace, you know. And so it's like I choose, I know my creator is my creator, like I choose to follow him, but it's not because of salvation, it's because I love myself, and in loving myself, it's ultimately I'm loving him, because he made me. You know, this is why I don't really care about my dad, because it's like, he didn't make me. You know? I love him as a human being, I love him as a person, but it doesn't mean I'm tied to him like he's my father, because he's whatever. And so like in my brain, in my eyes, in my mind, it's like, to me, he's just another human being on the earth. Yeah, maybe we have a little bit of ties together for a short window of time, but he gave up those rights when he did what he's done. And he had to deal with the repercussions, and I had to deal with the repercussions as well. As so my mother, as so my brothers and sisters. And so like, we could put a word on it and say he's my father, but since 1995 he's been gone because of the choices that he made, and we had to deal with the repercussions. It sucks. This is part of life. It's part of understanding repercussions. And when you do things, there are real repercussions. No one chose that for him. He did it himself. He put himself in situations, and then whatever. Like, that's what we all do. So like, if you don't want to cheat on your wife, well then do the things to not cheat on your wife. It's a process. It's not one bad decision. It's a process of decisions over and over again. Like, you have to go, you have to call that person, you have to go meet up, you have to go drink with them, you have to go ride back to the house with them, you got to go get naked with them, you got to go do all this stuff. Like, it's a process. It's choice after choice after choice after choice in order for that to happen. And so that's kind of how I look at life. It's like, you could stop at the first thing that leads you down the road of that, or you could just keep going. It's a lot of choice. It's not one mistake. It's multiple decisions over and over again. You know, whatever. To each his own. Do what you want to do. But whatever. To me, it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I just don't get it. Churches just, they mess my brain up. Because it's like I only truly really see control. And I'm like, they're missing the part. They're missing all of it. They're missing all of it. You know, and they're not really helping people. That's the thing. They're really not helping anybody. I don't know, maybe they are. I don't know. At least they're not, I don't know, maybe they are. But it's so weird, because it's so confusing to me. Because it's super weird. It's so weird about this salvation after we die. Like, that's weird to me. I don't really get it. So I'm going to die, and you're what, going to bring me back to life? And then I'm going to live for all of eternity. And do what? I don't know, man. I'm confused. Not really confused. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense at all. But what does make sense is right now. And understanding that I can pick and choose. If I want to go do some crime, I can go do some crime. If I don't want to do crime, I'm not going to go do crime. Like, it's very simple. If I choose to be hateful to people, I can choose that and go do that now. Or I can choose to be nice. I can choose to walk around in love, or I can choose to be whatever, rude. I don't know. I'm choosing every second of every day what I want to do, who I want to be. That's love. That's free will. No one's making me do anything. Because the act of making someone do something is not love. That's what I tell everyone. I ain't making you do nothing. You choose. But the answer is giving yourself time. The answer is giving yourself time. It's always going to be the answer. It's always going to be the answer. So I look at prayer. Prayer's the same thing, man. What are you doing? You're giving yourself time. And yes, everything goes up to whatever, to a higher self of you, to creator, something bigger than you, something we don't understand. But you're praying in your closet. You're spending time with yourself in a closet, talking, giving yourself time. All these great men of the Bible and all this, they all give themselves time. I don't get it. And then now, we tell everyone they're crazy if they talk to themselves. They give themselves time. Everything's so inverted and twisted. Dude, what's crazy? Think about this. So have no other idols or gods before me. Like, what is an idol? An idol could be anything outside of yourself. Literally, anything. Whether it's a human, whether it's a girl, whether it's a man, whether it's your children. Like, it literally tells you there, don't worship anything other than God. Well, what is God? God is invisible. What are we? We're technically invisible to ourselves. It's the same thing. If you give yourself time and you talk to yourself, which talking to your God would be talking to something invisible, something not that you can even comprehend or see. You're just talking out loud to nothing, to all things at the same time, whatever, to existence, to this space and air. It's giving yourself time. That he literally tells you that. Worship only me, God, which is yourself, which yourself and God are one. Because there's something bigger than us that created us, that allowed us to be here, like our creator. Like, that's what it means. Have no other gods before me or before you. Meaning nothing can be before you or in front of you, outside of you. Give yourself time. Life is fun, bro. Life is crazy. This is the start of it all. Love y'all. Peace.